It was a cold Monday morning when the sound of sirens echoed outside Ridgewood High. Students stopped in their tracks as two police cars pulled up right in front of the school gate. Standing there, with his designer jacket and expensive sneakers, was Tyler, the richest kid in school, smirking with his phone in hand. Beside him, the new teacher, Miss Parker, looked terrified and confused. No one knew what was going on yet, but within minutes whispers spread like wildfire. Tyler called the cops on the new teacher. What no one expected was how the truth would flip the whole story upside down. Before we jump into this emotional story, make sure to subscribe to our channel, your channel name, where we share inspiring and heart-touching stories every week. Don't forget to like this video and comment below what lesson you took from this story, because this one will change how you see kindness forever. Ms. Parker was new to Ridgewood High. She wasn't like other teachers. She was calm, soft-spoken, and always wore a warm smile, even when some of the kids didn't treat her well. She just moved to town after losing her husband in a car accident a few months earlier. Teaching was her way of starting over, of finding light in a world that had grown dark for her. Tyler, on the other hand, was used to getting everything he wanted. His dad was a real estate developer, his mom a famous interior designer. He drove to school in a brand new BMW while most of the other kids rode the bus. He had a group of friends who followed his lead, laughing at his jokes even when they weren't funny, mostly because no one wanted to get on his bad side. From the very first day, Tyler didn't like Ms. Parker. Maybe it was because she didn't treat him any differently from the other students. When he turned in a sloppy essay and got a C, he stormed out of class, furious that she dared to disrespect him. "Do you even know who my dad is?" he shouted one afternoon. But Ms. Parker only smiled and said gently, "I know who you are, Tyler, and I believe you can do better." Her kindness only made him angrier. Days turned into weeks, and Tyler decided to make Ms. Parker's life miserable. He spread rumors that she was broke and only teaching for pity. He and his friends mocked her clothes, her old car, even her lunch. Homemade sandwiches that looked nothing like the fancy meals Tyler's personal chef packed for him. But Ms. Parker never snapped back. She never shouted, never called him out in front of others. She just kept showing up, teaching, encouraging, smiling. Her calmness made some students curious. Slowly, a few began to warm up to her. She started an after-school writing club where students shared stories about kindness, loss, and hope. For the first time, Ridgewood High felt different. And that's when Tyler decided to take things too far. One afternoon he noticed Ms. Parker's car, a beat-up old Honda, parked outside the school. He smirked and told his friends, "Watch this." He called the police, pretending to be a concerned citizen. He claimed the car looked stolen and that a suspicious woman was hanging around the school grounds. When the officers arrived, Ms. Parker was standing near her car, holding a stack of papers. Confused, she tried to explain, "I'm a teacher here." But Tyler interrupted loudly, pretending to be shocked. "That's her. She's been sitting here for hours, watching students. I think she's up to something." The officers looked at her, then at the school building, uncertain. One of them, Officer Daniels, asked for her ID. Parker handed it over calmly. But before she could say more, the school principal rushed out, alarmed by the commotion. "What's going on here?" When Ms. Parker tried to explain, Tyler interrupted again, acting dramatic. "She's lying. I saw her snooping around the parking lot." But this time, Officer Daniels frowned. Something about Tyler's tone didn't sit right. He turned to Ms. Parker and asked softly, "Mom, are you a teacher here?" She nodded. The principal confirmed it instantly. The crowd of students that had gathered started whispering. The situation was quickly turning against Tyler. The officer's next words made everyone go silent. "Son, did you make this call?" Tyler hesitated. Yeah, but did you see her doing anything illegal?" Tyler's face turned red. "No, but she's not supposed to." Before he could finish, Officer Daniels crossed his arms. "You know, making a false police report is a serious offense. Wasting police time isn't a joke." Everyone's jaw dropped. Tyler's confidence vanished. His friends stepped back, pretending they didn't know him. Ms. Parker stood quietly, tears glistening in her eyes. Not from anger, but sadness. She didn't say a word, not even to defend herself. "Come with me," Officer Daniels said firmly to Tyler. "We're going to call your parents." As they walked toward the police car, Tyler's face burned with embarrassment. For once, his money and family name couldn't protect him. Cameras from students' phones were already recording the scene. The rich kid, finally facing consequences. Later that evening, after hours of silence, Tyler's father showed up at the station. He looked furious, but not at the officers, at his son. "Do you realize what you've done?" he said coldly. "You humiliated your teacher, wasted police time, and embarrassed our family." Ms. Parker was sitting nearby, waiting patiently. She had come to make sure Tyler didn't get into too much trouble. When the officer explained the situation, she spoke softly. "I don't want him punished. He made a mistake. I just hope he learns from it." Her words stunned everyone, even Tyler. After everything he'd done to her, she still stood up for him. That night, something changed in him. The next morning, Tyler showed up to school quietly. No designer jacket, no loud jokes. He walked straight to Ms. Parker's classroom and stood at her desk. The class went silent. "I'm sorry," he said, his voice trembling. "For the things I said, for what I did. You didn't deserve that." Ms. Parker smiled softly. "Thank you, Tyler. That means a lot." He hesitated, then added, "You could have gotten me in real trouble. Why didn't you?" She looked at him kindly. "Because kindness isn't about revenge. It's about giving people a chance to be better." From that day on, Tyler changed. Slowly but surely. He joined her writing club. He even helped organize a school fundraiser for underprivileged kids, the same kind of event he used to make fun of. Months passed, and Ms. Parker became one of the most loved teachers at Ridgewood High. Her calmness, patience, and compassion transformed the entire school atmosphere. Students started being kinder, not just to teachers but to each other. And Tyler, he became one of her biggest supporters. When graduation day arrived, he stood on stage as class representative and said, "I learned more from Ms. Parker than any textbook could ever teach. I learned that kindness is power, the kind that can change people, even the ones who least deserve it." The audience rose to their feet, applauding. Ms. Parker smiled, tears in her eyes. She knew her husband would have been proud, not just of her, but of the young man standing before her, who'd finally learned what true strength meant. Life has a way of testing us, sometimes through unfairness, sometimes through pain. But kindness always finds a way to shine through the darkness. Remember, one gentle act, one forgiving word, one moment of compassion can change someone's entire life. If this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe to your channel name, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone who needs to be reminded that kindness always wins, even when it seems like the world doesn't notice. Because in the end, it's not about what you have, it's about what you give. And sometimes, giving kindness is the richest thing anyone can do.